What's up, Earth Stars? My name is Nova Too Serious. This is where I channel my energy. Thank you for, you know, visiting to see this. But in this video, it's about things that I'm going through, things that I went through, and yeah, just it's where I post it. It's a forum, open forum. So comments are welcome. You know, it is what it is. You know what's crazy? You could be trying to be a good person and doing good things at the same time as trying to be a good person, and someone would still wish harm on you. Like, for example, I went to the fire department, I think it was like a week ago, and I even videoed the encounters because, like, as a member of the public, I pay for that. Taxes, tax wise. Not saying that I deserve to just walk up and through, the emergency response areas or the areas where people respond to emergencies. But what I'm saying is, if I do have a crisis, why can't I relate the fire department to my emergency? Not saying that I have an emergency, direct emergency, because if I did have a direct emergency, of course I would call 911. But if I had an emergency that isn't really life-changing or life-threatening right away, or if it's not, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody knows what I mean when I say that. Hold on. But just individual, like looking for a virtue, if that's what I mean. Like a virtue inside of the people around you, because that's what we are supposed to hold as Americans. That's what patriots hold. Patriots hold a virtue towards not really just the public, but like just everybody, except for bad people. And what I'm saying is, for me to go to the fire department unarmed, no threats, no aggression, just to sit, chill, and think, where it seems peaceful, because it seems very peaceful at a fire department. It seems like there's not a lot going on at fire departments. It doesn't seem like you know there are aggressive people like trying to figure out why you're loitering or what you're doing and stuff. It's not like you know a war zone at a fire department, because all they do is fight fires. They don't directly target individuals. So, like, that's why I chose to go to the fire department, and just to sit there, because I can't go to a government building without being considered a terrorist to sit or anything, or loiter, because that's what they would call it, is loitering. Can't go to commercial businesses without being considered somebody that's loitering. I can't go to a park without being seen as somebody that is possibly stalking kids. Like, there's not even walking trails in the area that I live in Gulfport. There are walking trails, but you got to drive to get there, and I don't have a car. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, how am I a bad person? How am I a bad person because I go and sit by the fire department? And if I did like need real help, then I would go and get real help. You know what I mean? So, like, I moved, Gulfport, and I felt kind of bad, one day, and I wanted to go for a walk. I started walking through the neighborhoods, and I felt like I was, being watched, as if, like I was like plotting or something. It's just a feeling. I'm not saying that's what I was doing. I'm just saying that I was walking through a neighborhood, and people were watching, like it's the neighborhood watch. Not that that's a complaint. It's just that I don't really watch people when they walk around, so it's a different type of situation to me. So, go to a park. People just sit there and watch as I walk around the park. Not just regular people, like Caucasians that should look like they should be at work, or they have nice cars and stuff like that. They just sit there as if they have a camera watching. I don't know. But um, I was looking for a place to sit where I felt like I could be and not you know, impressing or like push creating an impression that I'm trying to do something criminal. But obviously that's not how it turned out for me. Of course I got questioned because I walked to the side of the fire department building. I walked over there to see if they had a walking trail because they had a nice facility and maybe they had a trail that was available to the public because there are some places that do that, some places that have things available to the public. That's what I was attempting to look at because nobody approached me when I entered the property or went onto the property from the jump. I know that I was, seen. And then when I walked into an area that really doesn't have anything posted saying no trespassing or this is a restricted area or you will be, approached in this area, like no kind of signs or awareness towards, like civilians actually being in that area. It's more so like I'm not supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be there. And it's just how I felt. This is how the encounter went. Um, I'm gonna show you that and then explain how I felt in extra.
Am I trespassing? Am I trespassing?
No.
I just want to look at the building. Can I look at the building?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
We're
Why
just
you walking
making
up
sure
on me?
everything was all right.
You walking up on me, man? Am I trespassing?
Are you filming?
I'm sorry. It's public property, right? Yeah. I heard
All
you
right.
guys public
We're
service.
playing that game?
Not playing the game. I'm just walking around, bro.
Got it.
Y'all got a walking trail?
Nope.
No. I'm just checking. It seemed like y'all might have one. Y'all got a lot of stuff over here. Thank you. Am I playing games? Or is this the money that I invest in? This is where I invest my money as a taxpayer. Am I playing games? Is this property the state property? Is state property? Is it state property? Do it say trespassing? Do it say trespassing? I can't go to the park to hang out, because if I do, I'm hanging out where kids go play. If I'm a criminal, and I go to the park, and I hang out where kids like to play, then clearly I'm stalking. If I go to the park where people like to hang out, and they having a good time working out, but they scared of me, I'm stalking. So what's wrong with me being here? Why I can't be here? I can't go to the park. I can't go to commercial businesses. I can't go to, the neighborhoods that's like neighboring where I live at. So how am I safe? That's all I'm saying. How am I safe? I ain't safe, bro. Watch. I get harassed everywhere I go. Even here. Even though this is the safest place I could possibly be. It's the safest place I could possibly be. And I still get harassed. I'm looking for a walking trail where black men could go. If that's the case. Yep, so much for knowing the firefighters in this area. I can't even walk up here and just walk around. Look, I'm being stalked. I just want somebody to talk to.
All I can say is I never really had a welcoming from
There's no
the
way I
fire
can stalk this
department
building.
as just a public civilian.
It's here
In
for me.
fact, every time I engaged with firefighters, I always felt a hint of racism or ableism. I'm also doing this to demonstrate that no matter how active a black person tries to become inside of the community, they will not be seen as equal. And I didn't start racism. If anything, I'm just standing up to exercise my rights. What I'm saying is, if your information isn't being used for your safety, then what is your information being used for? Because all I'm doing is visiting a public property
Hey,
that I help
can I
build,
ask you
I
some
help
questions?
fund, I help
Aren't you a
do all of
firefighter?
this. I'm an American
Yeah.
too.
So,
I
as
deserve
a
that.
firefighter, what is your job duty for the community, for the local area? What kind of job do you do as a firefighter?
Whatever comes up, we do it all.
Yeah.
We go to house fires, we go to car wrecks, we go to cats and trees, we go to missing persons.
Missing persons.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. Hey, is y'all chief here?
Huh?
Is y'all chief here?
Chief?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get to know you guys. I live down the street,
Okay.
and I don't know much about how you guys operate, so I'm coming over here to figure out what's going on. How y'all doing? What's your name?
Justin.
Justin?
Like that glow belt, man. I used to wear that in the
I don't
Marines.
know.
Yeah. I wish I was able to join the Marines.
One day.
I guess here comes the communication. I'm sorry to take him away. I was just trying
No,
to.
you're good.
I mean, that's what you guys are here for, the public, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to y'all, see how y'all doing. I mean, y'all busy?
Huh?
Y'all busy right
We
now?
do checkoffs in the
I
morning.
mean, it just seemed like y'all walking around. My bad. My bad. I'm just talking about from appearances. I'm just gonna sit over here and watch. I hope you guys. Sorry.
Despite what's happening inside this video, I do have a respect for first responders. Of course, that respect declines when they don't hold themselves accountable as first responders, instead using their individualism in order to harm other
Where they
people,
going?
even though
Are
they
they
take an
leaving
oath.
now?
I can't get down with that. I'm not saying as a first responder, you should reveal your identity or who you are or, your personal beliefs. But what I am saying is if you hold an oath and you work with the government and you promise that, to God that you're going to help and save people that need help, then why is it them versus us? And if I'm wrong, how do you explain the lack of concern with the abundance of time? I'm not saying that people shouldn't, be ready to work. I'm just saying that this is their job to care about the public. And I was there as a public person, a person that's part of the public. And yeah, I was looked at and laughed at. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of unnecessary stuff going on with the resources that we as Americans are investing in.
Weirded out by
This
stuff
right
like
here
this.
is a
Look,
prime example of how
this,
it's a militia that's going
all
against,
of this.
the rights of African Americans. Like, it's just an airplane, but the timing, and I continue to see things like this.
Yo,
Helicopters,
I'm not afraid of y'all, bro.
ambulances,
I ain't afraid of no military.
pest
I
control
know that
vehicles,
I'm illegal.
all kinds of stuff.
I know I'm out here doing
And I shouldn't be paranoid.
scared of y'all. Look
They
at this
ask me why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because of the lack of resource. I'm doing this because that's where my resources went. I'm doing this because I have the power to do that. That's what my resources is for me as a people to have a power. And whenever I get oppressed, whenever I get told that I'm not good or get shown that I'm unwelcome, that's me being robbed. So, I'm going to get robbed openly by the government so that people can witness that there is no help coming. Whatever stand you make is the only stand that God gave you you to take. So you stand for what you believe. And that's what I believe. I believe that we don't need these people telling us how to do anything if they can't show us how to do it. That's all I'm saying. And you want to ask me if I have anything better to do. Do I have anything better to do? I don't have the resources because I'm investing in order for me to be able to make more resources. So I don't have anything to do, anything else to do, except for allow my resources to go into the racism that I receive, to go into the oppression that I receive. Oh, you don't got nothing else to do. It's not like I want to be a murderer. It's not like I have so much hate to where I go and run in somebody's house. That's not me. I'm working. Actually working, not oppressing. Working. Yeah, I just want to add in, allowing me to have time with family is not considered a substitute for resource. Family value and family time has fundamental, resources towards economics. But when it comes to me being economically stable, I shouldn't have to rely on my family as an individual or as individuals to provide for me as an individual. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what Mississippi does. Mississippi turns the people that are capable of doing things towards their family as if they're unable to do those things. And that's very common in Mississippi. It opens the door for more trauma to come into my life from the family that, don't want to deal with their trauma. So that's not considered a resource. If anything, it's considered sabotage at the same time. So many complaints at why I can't successfully do things, but I don't have any reason to say that an opportunity that I had has changed my life completely or for the best or for the better indefinitely. I have no type of anything to say about Mississippi except for the fact that trauma is guaranteed. Especially when you are an indigenous American, defending against the fact that somebody thinks you're an African American or a black N-word. I shouldn't even be in defense living. But this is a free country, right? This is a free country, and I'm free to defend myself everywhere I go. But then, once I defend myself, I'm the assaulter. It don't make sense, bro. That's all I'm saying. How can I live? What's really going on, government?